Hi guys, this is Kalita here, and as promised, I'm going to be doing a blogging series for you. I'm not sure how many videos are going to be in this series, but I'm going to try to keep them short, to the point, so that you can get started blogging and monetizing your blog ASAP. Now, the first one that I'm going to talk about is basically the basics of blogging. And while more advanced bloggers may know this, there are some people out there who really don't know the basics to blogging and, setting up a really good blog. Now, I'm going to do a whole other video on choosing the right blog for you. But today, let's just start up with the anatomy of a good blog. So let's get started, guys. Okay, now, the first thing you need to have when you're doing a blog is a title. And this title should tell the reader, you have to tell the reader what the blog is about. And then you want something that's going to catch the reader's eye. So you don't just want to put, like, for instance, I did a blog recently on vegan green bean casserole. And there are tons of vegan green bean casserole recipes out there on blogs. So why would the reader choose my blog over, say, person B's blog? So I put vegan green bean casserole recipe, and then I put easy and delicious. Put something extra. Say you're going to write about backlinking. Put backlinking process gets you ranked quickly, or gets you on the first page of Google. Give them an extra incentive as to why they should read your blog instead of someone else's blog. Now, the next thing that we want to look at is you're going to go with some, the body of your blog, okay? Now, the body of your blog is a lot more complex than a lot of people realize, and it comprises of a lot of different things. So you're going to have headings, and you need to make it look really good. So you need to have it creative, or, it has to have some sort of, design to it, I guess you can call it. And another thing that you need to focus on is your font. And a lot of people do not pay attention to the font, and it's so important because when you're reading a blog, you don't want to be squinting. So the size of the font is important. The type of font is important. Some people go use this really fancy font that's in cursive writing, and it's so difficult to read the blog. So you want to make it as easy as possible for the reader to read your blog, okay? Now, there are different types of headings that are involved, and I'm not going to go into that because that's more along the lines of SEO, optimizing your blog, and that's a whole other video. But when it comes to headings for instead of your body, you want to put headings throughout, and I say aim for at least three headings in your blog. And the reason I say this is because you want to separate your blog, as in put some spaces, like right here. Put some spaces between your paragraphs. And the same way with your title, you want to have a good title, a title that is going to catch the eye of the person reading it. You want to have headings that are going to catch the eye of the person reading your blog. So throughout the blog, you want to ask questions. You want to, just be creative. Don't just write a long blog without any breaks, without any headings, because the person's going to get bored and they're not going to get to the end of your blog. Now, the next thing that I told you about before was you want to be creative, or you want to have some sort of design to your blog. And that's important because when you are writing your blog, just add some, pictures, and you want to put, make it look nice. And I know you're probably saying, oh, you're a girl or you're a female, and so that's the reason why you're saying, make it look nice. But trust me, people want to be entertained. Like, being entertained is one of the reasons that they're going to be reading your blog. So I'm going to talk about the reasons why people are going to be looking at your blog, but this is one of the main ones. Most people come to read a blog because they want to be entertained. And so you want to be able to entertain them while they're reading. If they're going to be reading just seeing a whole bunch of black and white, and you are not like a really good writer, you're not going to keep their attention with your words, you're going to have to find some other way to make sure they stay on that page. And that's where font comes in, colors come in, pictures come in. You just want to make sure that you keep their attention. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is at the end of your blog, you want to have something called a call to action. And this is the main purpose for you writing your blog. Now, this is the reason why you have a blog in the first place. You want to tell the reader what to do. What is it that you want the reader to do after they have read your blog? And, a lot of people say put this at the end, but I like to intersperse this between different parts of the blog. And the more you write, the better you will get at this. The more you realize where to put these call to actions, because you don't just want to put the call to action, anywhere. You want it to flow through. You want it to feel like a part of the blog. And so I say to aim for maybe 3 or 4 call to actions in between your blog. So let's say 3 or 4 call to actions, and you want it to flow with what you're doing. You don't just want to throw it in there. So this is the basic anatomy of a good blog. You want to have a title, like I said before. So you want to have your title, and then after you get your title, you want to go on down to the body. And then after you go from the body, you want to have a call to action. And this call to action needs to, be to flow, and it needs to tell them exactly what you want them to do. So that's the basics of a good blog. Title, body, call to action, bam, that's it. And go on to the next part of the series to see what's coming up next, because you need all of these different parts of the series to really put your blog together to start monetizing your blog. So I'll see you on the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.